All right, Henry McClure live. This is the Topeka Factor. This is the YouTube channel. This is the recording. You want to say good morning?
Oh, are we doing this?
Yeah, we're just going.
Okay.
We'll get this one going.
Yeah, you blindsided me.
Well, why not?
I'm still getting my Facebook Live.
I mean, this is the way we do business.
This is how we do it.
This is just how we do it.
We're blindsided.
I'm going to get some coffee. You doing fine?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Apparently, we've officially started. And since we have officially started, you're going to get to watch me set up my Facebook Live, which at this moment I'm going to do.
All right, now I'm going to get us live on Twitter.
We're going on Twitter?
Yeah, we're going to go on Twitter.
Elon Musk ain't gonna like it.
Oh, I like Elon. You like Elon?
We're going live on Twitter.
What do you think about him?
Okay, live. Wait a second. I'm getting my. Here we go. I'm going live on Facebook now. I think
you do really good on Facebook Live.
Facebook Live.
Good morning, Henry McClure.
With Henry McClure, and it's time for the Topeka Factor.
Yeah, let's hear you. You want to use that?
Then we can just put this right up here, and we are going live.
Can you switch it? Is that all we're going to be? Is just you? Oh, do I get it? No. I think just go. Let's go with you.
Or what if I did this? Hang on. Maybe that'll get both of us on Facebook Live. It says rotate your device. You can't turn your phone while live. Well, okay. I guess
Well, here we can see.
Oh, and then if you can put. Well, there's Deb already. There's Chuck Hanna.
Yeah, let me get you here.
If you can put it up on the big screen so I can see who's.
We'll see if we're
checking in. There we go. Deb says, "Hey, boys."
Hey, good morning, Deb.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay, here. Let's go to Marshall. Right there.
We're in the process of setting up another.
All right, turn it. See if it will go. We'll see it right here live.
Okay. We're in the process of setting up another edition, the Tuesday morning edition of the Topeka.
You can't turn your phone on while live. Oh, you're right.
Okay. Well, there we are.
Well, why don't we just restart that? And so, because that's a bigger camera.
Okay.
See, we both get in. So turn off. We'll be right back.
On my Facebook Live.
Yeah. So turn it
back.
Turn it off. Finish. Okay. Now turn your phone. So go live again.
Like that?
Yeah, now go live.
Now we go. Okay.
All right. Now let's see. Let's see if we got it going. Good morning. We're back here on the Topeka Factor on Marshall Barber Live. Henry McClure Live.
This is the real.
Yeah, there you go. We got it. There you go.
We got it. Okay.
We've got it.
This is take 2.
Now, baby, you got it. Bananarama. Remember them?
That was.
You're my Venus.
Yeah, that was actually the Shocking Blue.
Well, I like Bananarama version. All right. Hey, we're getting this down. Here we go.
Okay.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Want to say hi to Peter out there in Massachusetts? Say hi to Don. Yeah, see, Peter agrees with me. It was the Shaking Blue. That's another name for a band, by the way, I would think. The Shaking Blue. But it was the Shocking Blue that did the original Venus in the 60s.
All right. So what about Bananarama? Are they getting any street credit here?
Well, I guess we could have a spontaneous people's poll here. What's your preference?
Don't you like those girls' moves?
Or do you even like the song to begin with, Bananarama or Shocking Blue? Well, this is April 16th.
Yeah, I got my extension filed on time.
I did mine.
And what you do is you always send money, send a little deposit,
Exactly.
Because then that way, if they cash your check, you know, they got it.
Tax tips from the Topeka
Well,
factory.
Dad was had his doctorate in tax.
Uh-huh.
Did you know that?
Did not know.
A doctorate in tax law.
Well, now here's
What do you got?
I thought just to sort of ease the pain here on the day after the tax deadline from the book, The Daily Stoic, 366 Meditations on Wisdom, Perseverance, and the Art of Living by Ryan Holiday. The April 15th reading with the heading, Pay the Taxes. And this is a quote from the great Roman Stoic Seneca. Nothing will ever befall me that I will receive with gloom or a bad disposition. I will pay my taxes gladly. Now, all the things which cause complaint or dread are like the taxes of life, things from which you should never hope for exemption or seek escape. So, what this says is income taxes are just a form of tax that we all pay. For example, if you're famous like Henry, uh, rumors and gossip are the taxes that come from acquiring a public persona.
No, wait, is that in your book or is that from your heart?
That's in the book.
Oh, well.
Disagreement and occasional frustration are taxes placed upon even the happiest of relationships. Theft is a tax on abundance and having things that other people want. And this kind of alludes to a possible topic for today's Topeka factor, which has to do with, now, is that going to be too far away to pick up
Your voice?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what anybody says. Hey, we can get somebody to
Morning,
call
Mark.
in. Anybody want to call in?
Yeah,
We'll get the phone lines ready.
Yeah, what's that number again?
785 233. No, 235 3353.
Okay. Maybe someone can call in and tell us how we're coming through on my Facebook Live feed. So is this another Trickle Ripple simulcast here?
Yeah, so we're recording here on YouTube, and we could go live, and then we're live on Twitter.
Okay. Also known as X.
X. So I've got over here, we've got, doesn't he have a kid named X? I think Elon named one of his kids X.
I think, okay, X as in exploding in space. So,
or X marks the spot.
Yeah. Well, so anyway,
but does he live with his ex?
If you can, if you can take kind of a philosophical approach to taxation, I think it helps to have a little bit of perspective.
I think I'm going to buy you a new coffee cup.
Well,
I think we're going to have the Topeka Factor coffee cups.
This is my KKFI coffee cup, which I got for making a contribution.
But what about that?
Yeah, I know. I dropped it. And okay, Dawn says she can hear us really good on my Facebook.
Okay, good. We love you.
So,
well, I guess I could turn up the volume on mine.
On my Facebook. Here's the last.
So I can hear you guys right here.
See, now
sorry, I'm a little slow.
Now we're hearing the playback.
I'm a little slow, but I'm in the race.
Okay,
and I'm running for county commissioner. And the fact that I said if there were somebody better than me, I would support him. Okay. You know what I mean? It's not a bad thing to say. It's not me quitting. You know, you kind of made me feel like, well, guy, are you really going to do it? Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
But I'd rather be in the real estate business, and I'd rather have the system work fair for everybody. And so I've gone through a lot of changes in my life, and I'm just so naive that I think I could change Topeka.
Or contribute to an atmosphere which is conducive to change.
Yes.
Did you see this thing in the Sunday paper? This could be your campaign theme too.
Well, Curtis.
It says it's going to be big.
Curtis. Well, and yeah, it's going to be big. but it's a way to milk the taxpayers out of building a hangar.
Oh, yeah.
No, but Curtis from the chamber,
This has to do
now at the MTAA, and by the way, Curtis ought to be running the MTAA. Personally, I think that.
He's not.
Well, no, I think the community wants to get rid of Eric Johnson. You know how the community works. But
So Eric Johnson is running the MTAA.
yes, I think so.
So maybe
I got asked to be on the board. If I joined the board, would I be willing to get rid of Eric Johnson?
you could import Marjorie Taylor Greene and have her file a motion to vacate.
I don't care what you say. I think she's hot.
Oh, we got to say hi to Bill Beasley. Hi,
Hey, Bill. Good morning. Good to see you. Glad to have you.
Folks are checking in on Facebook Live here. This, by the way, is the Topeka Factor, which is a collaboration of myself, Marshall Whitehat Barber, and Henry, candidate for County Commissioner McClure.
I want to
District number 2.
You know what I want to be known for in Topeka?
But actually, he wants to be known as a developer.
The broker's broker.
The broker's broker.
The broker's broker. Hey, so I'm going to tell you something. I was on the phone yesterday with the consultants for the hotel.
Oh, okay. The one over there by the Stormont Valley Event Center.
Are you familiar with Berkshire Hathaway?
I've heard of Berkshire Hathaway.
You know Doug Bassett?
I know Doug Bassett.
Do you know Suzette Shields?
Yes.
So Suzette has a client. I met the client, her client, and her client is totally cool. He's for real.
And he
made an offer for $7.6 million.
Okay.
To buy the hotel.
Okay. From the city.
To buy it from the city.
Okay.
And well, why can't we just get a counter offer?
We haven't. We do. You're saying
we don't.
We do not.
No, we don't have a counter offer.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, make a note of this. The hotel which was purchased with your money, we have an opportunity to sell that hotel, if I understand this correctly. But thus far, a $7.6 million cash offer hasn't necessarily been turned down, but it hasn't been responded to, I guess.
Do you hear that knocking?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Is that your air conditioning?
I don't know. I wonder if somebody's at the door. It's like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Could there be somebody at the door? Once again on Facebook Live, you're listening to and watching the Topeka Factor, in which we attempt to discuss things of local import. And we welcome your comments and feedback. So what we've been talking about so far this morning, two things. Number one, it's going to be big. That's from the Sunday paper. Number two, number two, an offer on the hotel which the city bought.
Marshall loves this picture.
That's awesome.
So I wanted to bring it into the studio.
Wow. You know, when I went to New York, I made a pilgrimage to the Flatiron Building.
You know,
what he's showing here.
I'm going to gift you this picture.
Oh, really?
This is your gift today.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah, I want you to have it. You know, you gotta. It means something to you. You don't like it?
I love it.
I'll keep it.
I love it. You know that.
Oh, did you guys get to see the?
At one time, the Flatiron Building was the tallest building in New York, I believe.
We got 6 people on Twitter.
Oh, really? Well, we just got another Bob up there in Detroit has just joined us.
Hello, Bob.
So
you know, I used to go to Toledo. Sherman Dryson of MD Management.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear the name Frank Morgan?
No. The Kansas City Frank Morgan?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I've heard that name.
Frank Morgan was absolutely the best real estate speculator in the universe ever.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. And he was brilliant. Frank was brilliant. And one of the best real estate guys I've ever met. But what he did, he had in Kansas City, he had a sportswear gig selling stuff to Sears. He got to know Sears. like sweatsuits and sporting
Yeah.
apparel. And then from selling them apparel, the softer side of Sears, remember
Uh-huh.
that? He then started developing shopping centers.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I remember
He was a he was a big time guy.
I should have stayed in Kansas City. If you do the woulda, coulda, shouldas,
Gotcha.
the woulda, coulda, shoulda was in '96. I should have kept my day job
Mm.
at Macerich and done my internet company on the side.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
Hey, I think I'll make that. That ought to be a good website.
19
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
1965. I never would have left the arcade at the corner of 12th and Grand. Still be down there playing pinball. Uh, Bob,
In Kansas City?
yeah,
But you grew up in Topeka.
they used to have. Yeah, well, my friend Greg Allen and I, we'd ride the bus into Kansas City specifically to play pinball at the about 14. Uh,
The Gray Dog.
and anyway, Bob up there in Detroit single-handedly brought down one of the local TV stations with the big scandal over cutting off the Billy Joel show. Did you try to watch the Billy Joel concert that was live on network TV?
Well, he didn't start the fire.
Yeah, but he was a big shot
Hey, that
because
wasn't bad, was it?
that was right up there.
Not bad.
Quick on the uptake. So Bob
Remember
actually,
Crystal Radios?
yeah, Bob actually uh, got people pretty fired up about the fact that they broke away from Billy Joel Live, be like
To do what?
to run the news. It'd be like if someone came in here on the Topeka Factor
And made a deal we'd break.
and just oh, and Deb says she's got to take a break, so don't say anything important till I get back.
Well,
Well,
call us.
one thing you don't have to worry about is missing something important while we're talking. uh,
That's funny.
oh, there's Ron. Oh my God,
Where's Ron from?
another real estate agent.
Ron Roos?
Yeah,
I like him.
he's a good man.
What's he got for sale?
Well, we'd have to ask that question. I'm not sure.
I promote. Do you notice
I don't even know
I
what I've
promote
got.
everybody's listings?
I think that's good. I don't
Because
even,
for me to succeed, Ron's got to succeed.
and for Ron to succeed, I've got to succeed.
Yeah.
And
I want to grow up and have a white hat.
yeah, well, there is a store downtown. This pertains to Topeka.
Across from the Jayhawk?
There's a clothing store on 6th Street called, I think it's called the Distinct Gentleman.
I thought it was on 8.
That store was on 8th and it moved to 6th. And that store is where I got this very hat to wear to Nicole Snyder's wedding. She got married a few years back.
I did.
But
Went
anyway,
out and bought a suit.
yeah,
Yeah, I did. I bought a suit. I bought a suit of clothes. I got some different shirts, ties, pocket squares. I think the ties are too thin.
well, we're going to have a dress-up day for the Topeka factory then.
Well, if I bought a black one because I think
Of course.
Topeka's dying.
Of course, oh God, if you're going to run for office, you do need some professional-looking attire.
I don't know.
Mm.
Do you?
Well,
I like logo shirts. I think that's
that's okay.
yeah.
That's okay.
But so listen, why didn't we get a counter offer from the city? And what's all that? Look
Okay,
at that note.
here's an update.
All right.
Bob says, I just simply rattled the local CBS affiliate, WWJ-TV, about the network's timing error, which prematurely cut off Billy Joel's concert 3 minutes early in the middle of the closing song. Now it says, in the middle of the closing song, which was Piano Man. So there's our clarification from Detroit. By the way, that movie, I can see we're really on X now. That movie that you want to watch, by the way, is a movie called Detroit.
Hey, that's actually Facebook.
Which that's Facebook.
Yeah, I know.
Hmm.
It's like pornography. It's soft porn.
Holy Hugh Hefner. Want to say hi to Werner
He
and
had the
Lawrence.
right idea.
Bank Midwest is a good place to go if you're looking to finance.
Jamie Dimon said interest rates were going to go up. What does Warner say?
I read that Jamie Dimon says 8%. He also says that J.P. Morgan Chase is ready to address any contingency ranging from 2% rates to 8%. Uh,
When I was
I don't know what the folks over there at Bank Midwest are saying. Maybe maybe Warner would care to illuminate us on that point. Interest rates are pretty huge. That's why, referring to another article in the Wall Street Journal, now we're getting that feedback again.
all right. Just
Uh,
I put the Twitter feed up there.
another article which I just read, boomers aren't budging from big homes. And the reason for that, a partial reason, okay, Werner's guarantee they will absolutely do something. How's that
I
for
like that.
illumination?
Now that guy's got the right answer.
They will fluctuate.
Did you know Johnny Breyer? Remember him?
Yeah.
He was married to Leslie, who was Jamie Dimon's assistant.
What?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh,
That's interesting.
Leslie's family owned Village Inns.
Okay. Village Inns.
Yeah, they had a bunch of
I miss those places. I like the Village Inn. It was a good place to go and have some breakfast and hang out.
I like breakfast.
Did the whole chain go under, or was it just?
No, I don't
leave
know. I
Topeka?
just think what's happened is, well, so Leslie got Johnny's oil company.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Johnny could walk in on Pete DuPont
Mm-hmm.
without an appointment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And Leslie got the oil. Why did they split up?
Well, he died.
Okay. Oh, so she got the oil company
You could
in a manner.
ever seen U-Haul truck along a hearse? You can't
Yeah.
take it with you.
That's
Are we not going to talk about the fact that the city won't even counteroffer Suzette?
well. What is there to say? Let's talk about it. Once again on Facebook Live, this is the Topeka Factor with myself and Henry McClure.
Live.
We are talking about many things, including events in Topeka. Meanwhile, in Detroit, a Detroit update is preparing. Actually, this is kind of cool. They're preparing for the onslaught of fans for the NFL draft that Detroit is hosting. So Detroit's got the NFL draft this year. Didn't Kansas City have it last year?
So I would fly to Detroit and then go down to Toledo. And I don't know much about NFL because I don't care.
You don't care about the NFL?
I don't care about the NFL. I don't care about any pro sports whatsoever.
This could be a campaign plank. We don't care about the NFL.
No, but I do like golf.
What about soccer for Topeka? Anyway,
I don't want to run.
okay. Yeah.
I'll go play golf.
Uh, just have Topeka host the NFL draft. Just an idea.
We'll get Matt Pavarnak on it.
Okay. Well,
We'll get
and-
so soon as Curtis runs the MTAA,
yeah.
then he can get everybody flown in.
So as usual, we have a number of different agendas here on the Topeka Factor, which you're watching on Facebook Live.
I have attention deficit disorder, and he's trying to run the show.
As well as X. We're on
We
X.
got X.
And this is being recorded.
Yeah.
So there'll be evidence.
For prosperity.
There will be evidence. But okay, so right now we're kind of mired down in a couple of questions. Why won't the city respond to a bona fide offer to purchase the hotel that it recently acquired?
Well,
what was the purchase price when the city bought it?
7.6.
It was 7.6.
So we get them out, and in hindsight, Suzette said, "Well, they're not responding to my like a $6 million offer."
Oh, they had a six. Okay.
And I said, "Well, why don't you at least just up it to what they paid for it? How could they say no?"
Right.
In hindsight, I kind of think that was bad advice on my standpoint.
From your standpoint?
Yeah, I kind of do.
You gave bad advice.
I might have.
He's the bad advice giver.
But, well, the thing is, on bad advice on a project like that, you can make it back up in incentives.
Okay.
You could you can, so it's really not what you offer to buy it for, it's the incentives that you can negotiate.
Okay.
So sometimes it doesn't really matter what you pay for it, you just get control of it.
Okay.
Okay. So once you control it, you can get the flag. It's easier to deal with the hotel people that dole out the brand. And then it's easier to start negotiating with the city about the package you're going to get. Now, I don't know how they're going to find blight there. I mean, because to get TIF, tax incremental financing, you have to have blight. Blight has to be there, has to be present.
Well, we'll you do the deal. We'll bring the blight. We're the blight creators. I want to say hi to Juanita, who I think is down there in Florida.
It's like returning the item for spite, right?
Yeah.
We'll bring
We'll
blight.
bring the blight.
Seinfeld will bring the spite.
That could actually be a business. The niche would be people looking for TIF grants.
I think there's blight.
Needing blight. But okay, so this is
The
right.
blight is the way of thinking.
How can you say there's no blight in the vicinity of 17th and Topeka? How close does the blight have to be?
Okay, I'll agree with that. But the building, the hotel itself, is not blighted except by uh, economic blight.
Okay, okay.
You know what? You know how this deal.
So the thing itself has to be blighted.
Well, it's like when I did College Hill.
It has to be smitten with blight.
It was, and that was smitten with blight.
Oh yeah. Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So
when I say bad advice, there's always in commercial real estate. There's always a caveat.
yes.
But what I'm saying today is I didn't feel that the consultants that are making $544,000 a year, or just for the contract, I didn't feel like, who are you working for? How come you can't coach us? How come you can't say, well, look, hey, this is how you get the deal? And so the incentive package. So what they wanted to do is to bring Jeff White onto the phone call or in a meeting.
Is that the consultant? Jeff White?
Another consultant.
Want to say hi to Andelin. Actually,
Andelin?
Andelin is watching.
That's a nice name.
Or is it? I think it's Andelin, not Andeline. But
well, that's a pretty name.
Folks checking in on.
Is it a woman?
Yes.
Okay.
Checking in on my Facebook Live.
Like boy named Sue. You know?
Yeah.
Andeline. Andeline, that's a beautiful name.
So Jeff White is the consultant.
Jeff White he's a consultant for TIF and he's who we dealt with College Hill. He's who we dealt with Chick-fil-A and Whataburger. He represents the city, and
he works for the city.
He's another city consultant.
Okay.
You know what my whole goal is?
So who is the consultant that's getting paid $500,000 to do this hotel thing?
Well,
do we know that?
Yeah, I do. I got the information.
I wonder, are you gonna? I don't think I can go, but there is a city council meeting tonight, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder, is it appropriate during public feedback for someone to stand up and ask the question, hey, what about that offer to buy the hotel? Or would that?
No, I did that last week.
Oh, you did that last week?
Yeah. A friend of mine said, why do you even go down there? They don't like you.
Okay.
You know, there was times where the mayor wouldn't even look at me.
Okay. Well,
one time I said to, hey, I'm talking to you.
I'd just like to ask everybody watching this on my Facebook Live feed.
It's got 9 viewers. We're playing to Twitter.
Okay. How about everybody on Twitter or Facebook Live? Do you like Henry? What?
I don't care if you don't like me, but we can do deals.
Henry's likable enough.
I think we could do deals.
You got
another friend of mine said, well, Henry, you know.
He's not exactly Larry David, but he's likable.
You're Larry David. John Parker is Larry David, a friend of mine. He is so Larry David.
Well, anyway, okay, so we don't.
Hey, this is the show about nothing. The Topeka Factor.
This is the show.
The town about nothing.
We turn something into nothing.
It's nail
Where
soup.
the
Topeka, you know the fable about nail soup,
where
don't you?
the existential alchemists. We turn something into nothing. How did we do it? God only knows.
Well,
But
there's been a people that have made a lot of money here.
in Topeka?
Yeah.
Sure, well, sure, yeah, yeah.
Did you know the Posies?
The Poses family that started Volume
Yeah.
2. Yes.
Did you know them?
Well, I knew them. I went to high school with some of the Poses kids. Uh,
I heard they went door to door raising money.
that's possible. I
My
don't
dad
know.
chipped in some
But
cash.
now something I just found out last week
Breaking news?
is that it's called, what's it called? It's called Payless now. Payless still has a skeleton crew office staff, and they're still
In
selling shoes
Dallas.
here in Topeka. They're still selling shoes, sports fans. Um, they've still got a few stores around the world that are still open, and they've got, I don't know, 20 or 30 people working over there at East Sixth. Yeah, I didn't.
Well,
I
have you been in that building?
maybe.
It's
I
got
don't think so.
it's got like one of the best um infrastructures for computers rooms. You know what I mean? Like a data center.
Oh, sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, it would.
Yeah, I mean elevated floors for running the cables, air conditioning, huge backup generator. I mean, it's state of the art. Did you ever go there? They had a food court and everything.
I had I had some real estate business with.
You know Barb Bamman, you know her?
Oh, sure.
She used to be a Payless real estate person.
So I'd been in just a very limited part of those offices to present a contract once, but that was it.
What did you do a Payless deal?
No, no, I was working
Oh,
for.
like one of the
I
employees.
was selling a residence for one of the guys that used to run that company, and that was a long time ago.
Well, that's good.
Uh, yeah,
I actually went to Payless when I lived in LA. I had the exclusive rights to these tieless shoelaces. They were called
yeah.
Springers. And I went and I met with Payless. I met with Foot Locker, you know, the Kenny shoe, actually with Woolworth. I
Okay,
went to New York City and met with Woolworth because Woolworth owned everything. And that's how Woolworth made money was they got in the real estate business. In the early days, you had to have Woolworth on the lease plan, and then we cut up Woolworth. They created Foot Locker, Lady Foot Locker, Susie's Casuals. They did all these deals and put them in their old Woolworth space.
okay,
So they controlled all this real estate, and then the shoe business then became such Kenny Shoes. It was the
okay,
starting
okay.
one. So they could carve off a chunk of Kenny shoe or the Woolworth space and put Kenny shoes in it.
They had didn't the Foot Locker. I remember buying running shoes over at the West Ridge Mall from one of those stores. I think it was Foot Locker.
Yeah, Champs is out there still.
Yeah.
I actually did the leasing out there for a little while for who they called the bad guy. I brought in, I had a listing to sell the old Burlington coat at 2.8 million.
Want to say hi to Marilyn.
Hi, Marilyn.
Going to Jazz Fest this year? I am. I hope. supposed to get
Don's in town.
supposed to get my brass pass in the mail any day now. Also, Rich. Howdy, Rich. Yeah. Did you know that Jazz Fest is coming up next week in New Orleans?
You'll never let me finish a thought, but when's the meet?
Well,
No, that's okay.
do we have thoughts?
Let's have a
Finish the
jazz
list?
fest down on the plaza at the Capitol Federal
Yeah.
Plaza.
Okay. So, uh,
Yes, we have thoughts.
before I got distracted with the idea of Jazz Fest,
I
uh,
love jazz.
uh,
I listen to Watercolors on Sirius XM.
okay,
I think it's
okay,
number 65.
that's good. Um,
I would turn it on.
I just watched a show about the drummer Max Roach. Uh,
Did you know Tom Roach?
yes, yeah. Tom and I are Oh, we're partners.
You
We
know,
may
I
be.
owned that house on Oakley for a little while.
Oh, yeah, really? Okay.
I lost
Okay.
on that one.
I bet you did.
My renovator flipped out on me.
Oh, that's
Johnny
sad.
Fingers.
That's sad.
You know, I lived across the street. The Guthries lived there when I was a kid.
Yeah, yeah. I heard that, let's see, Bob Potter had that house. The guy that had the furniture store
Pete
in
Pick and
White House
Potter.
Mall. Huh?
Who did I say owned it? The Guthries? No, the Guthries lived behind us.
'Cause
Yeah, the Potter.
when
The
I
Potter family owned it.
there's Marla. Hello, Marla.
Hello, Marla.
We've got some really good people watching this on Facebook
Yeah, I know.
Live.
You
I
know
mean,
good people.
we from places like San Antonio,
My
which
my cousin Tom McClure lives in San Antonio.
that's a happening town.
He is the attorney for the mentally challenged.
Okay. Yeah, I might need his services someday.
We stay close. We stay in touch. I'm actually 26 hours older than him.
Okay. You got a jump start on it.
Yeah,
then.
I was out first.
There's Carrie.
Carrie who?
She's in Topeka. I'm not too sure about always using last names on our.
Oh, you mean guilty by association?
Well, I mean, I have people.
I think people that know you, I worry about that too. Like, do you really want me to say I know? Not really.
So this is just once again just on Facebook Live. This is the Topeka Factor. This is a program, if you want to call it a program, appearing on this Facebook Live.
Why don't you say hello to everybody on Twitter?
And also,
you're paying attention to all
everybody on Twitter.
And you got more viewers. We got how many viewers you got over here? 7, and we got 9 on Twitter.
Okay, so
I'm going out to 20,000 people over here.
Our audience is expanding geometrically, and we're defying any number of physics properties while doing so.
All right, so
there's another Floridian. We have people in Texas. We have Paul.
I lived in Florida twice in my life,
and so what this
Winter
is,
Park and Clearwater.
If you're just dialing in, this is Henry McClure. He's a long-standing real estate broker.
Now I'm standing
in Topeka, and then B, Marshall, you know who I am because you're a Facebook friend of mine.
And we got Marshall's picture
of the Flatiron Building.
Look at the delay.
Which, if I could strike it rich, I would buy a condo in the Flatiron Building. I wouldn't leave Topeka necessarily, but that would be my.
You would go back to New York?
That would be like.
If I never walked in New York City again, that'd be fine. If I never got on a commercial airliner, it would be fine.
You're beyond redemption, my friend, beyond redemption.
But I would hop on
the city that never sleeps. Who doesn't want to be in New York?
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today.
I'm heading for PJ Clark's.
Want to make a brand new start of it in old New York. Okay. These little town blues.
He'd never make it out of Port Authority with that voice. But anyway, the Flatiron Building has just been purchased, and the new owners intend to turn it into condominiums.
Why not?
And I have no concept what one of those condos.
Okay, so let's break it back down to how easy it is to go shopping here. Look out here. Look outside in our studio. Look outside the studio right there. Look how nice it is. It's going to get up to 80s today.
It occurred. I just had a thought about your hotel deal, Topeka.
Yes, sir.
Backing up just a minute, you all will recall that we have this hotel. How many floors is that?
6 or 7. I don't know.
It's a big hotel.
I'll go walk them.
Which the city bought, and now there's an offer on the table for $7.6 million to purchase it from the city.
And they ought to be lucky they got that offer.
And for some reason, the people who made the offer are not getting a counter. It just occurred to me that maybe the city's got this devious plan to turn the hotel into condos.
No, I think the devious plan is that really there's not a deal maker amongst them.
Yeah.
Who could make the deal?
Well,
name one guy that could make the deal.
Okay.
The closest we got is Neil Dobler.
What about this $500,000 a year consultant?
Well, yeah, why aren't you telling me what to put in the counter offer, Mr. Consultant?
I do deals. Well, we both do deals all the time, but I'm just saying, my consulting fee would be well done, well to the south of 500 grand. I mean, do it for 5 grand.
Well, when I got to thinking about
I just sold
no,
a
just the
warehouse.
way I was treated.
Huh?
Well, hey, that the price is going to go down on that. You know,
It
I mean,
could.
the based on the way I was treated by the consultant, this is no way to treat a buyer or
Right.
their agent.
Like we say in residential real estate, your first offer is usually your best.
Yeah, and so think about it. They never got
7.6
any
million.
response since March
Yeah.
for her like $6.5 million offer.
So has it been listed with?
No,
For
they don't
sale?
have it listed, and I asked them about that. And when they started talking about getting some nationwide guy to list it, I go, "Hey, real estate's local in nature."
Yeah.
But could it be the fact that
Okay, who's buying hotels?
there's a lot of people buying hotels.
That's the question. I mean, who and how do you reach those people?
I've got the land out there by Capital City Bank, or no, Capital Federal Bank, that hotel.
37th and
Yeah, I got the country club listed again. I need 500 grand for that land.
How do you price hotel? I mean, do you price it by the door?
No, you price it
Price it by revenue?
yeah, you take it's really uh hotels in Kansas are trading for 3 times the income,
Okay, 3 times
the
income.
net.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
take 3 times that. But
is this? Go ahead. Sorry.
go ahead.
I was going to say, is the Hotel Topeka like the Hotel California? You can buy it, but you can't sell it.
Well,
You can buy in, but you can
so
never buy go in.
let's go back to the idea of just selling the operating covenant.
Okay, so the operating company.
So you sell the operating covenant to somebody, and then that guy starts running it like a hotelier. He starts running it and starts figuring out what incentives he can get, starts figuring out if there's a market, and
Telemarketing. Speaking of market, he's getting a phone call from a telemarketer on the phone that we're using to be on Twitter or
X.
formerly known as Twitter. So
So then, it really realized to me, why would you want to own a hotel in Topeka, Kansas? I mean, we've shot ourselves in the foot with all these box moving people, right?
okay,
So we got Walmart distribution, we've got Target distribution,
oh yeah,
we've got Home Depot distribution. We've created
Mars
a
too.
plantation mentality for box movers,
Interesting.
the modern day cotton fields.
Okay,
And so these big players can offer better benefits, um, uh, better wages. So really deep down, they screw up the employment market for the existing business owners. The small time people.
that makes sense.
Okay.
I get that.
So, but also too, that's not attracting. Like, it's not really. You don't really plan a vacation and say, "Hey, let's go out and look at those distribution centers." You know what I mean? I've been thinking about it, and you don't really wake up in the morning. Hey, Mark,
Hey,
we're moving to Topeka to move boxes. Look, we're going to have all our kids be box movers. This is the future.
forget about Jazz Fest. We're going to Topeka to see the box movers and to see the site where they used to have the country stampede.
A friend of mine was on the phone with me earlier today and saying, really, we need to focus in on Heartland Park.
Okay.
And I haven't thought about Heartland Park because,
yeah.
see, I believe the future, I see the future of creating entrepreneurs by training people how to be in business.
Sure.
Because it's my mall mentality, right? And Mace always said, hey, Mace Siegel of Mace Rich, the regional malls will evolve because they're good real estate. They just need to become mixed use centers. And Cody Foster owning Westridge Mall is beautiful. Number one, he's got so much money, it doesn't matter. He can't fail.
Yeah, they understand that.
Yeah.
Mixed use.
So he can then take his time, put his offices in there,
Sure.
and then the people that are a part of that property, it's got a whole new vibe with him in there.
I've noticed that.
Yeah. The tattoo shop. I'm going to go get a tattoo to support him.
Well, I like some of the groovy T-shirts over there at Spencer's. Next time we do the Topeka Factor, I'll be wearing my.
I'm going to go out and get a hat made.
Well, okay,
The
so
Topeka Factor hat. Hey, did I tell you we have a website?
an actual Topeka Factor chapeau. Yes,
A chapeau?
that's a good plan.
We have a Topeka Factor website.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I got it up and going. We got Kiwi Rock going.
Okay.
Hey, let's talk about
Well,
the radio station. We
let's-
got time
plenty of time for that, but are we finished with the topic
of the hotel in
of
Topeka?
of the Phantom Hotel counteroffer?
Well, then what happens to me, I've not been a fan of Go Topeka. I'm not a fan of the Chamber.
Okay.
And the reason I'm not a fan of Go Topeka
Okay.
is because they have $3.5 million in overhead. 67% of the money for economic development goes to their overhead. And what did it do for us? The box moving group, right?
Lots of box movers.
Yeah, so we
Gotcha.
and so how do you really tell a guy that's trying to buy a hotel that this is the wrong town to put 7.6 million? And all this is happening to me as it's going real time, right? I'm feeling what the city's done. I see how the city council operates. We're not getting a counter offer. So treat people the way you want to be treated. So how?
What's so hard about that?
Yeah. So why wouldn't you say the whole point of this dissertation is that the city of Topeka, the governing bodies, don't know how to make a deal. So they don't know how to make a deal. That's why they got to get all these consultants.
So if they don't know how to make a deal,
are you hearing kind of from 10,000 feet what I'm saying?
why don't they?
Well, they got to get out of the deal making business since they don't know how to make a deal. So that's why Go Topeka milks $3.5 million and has everybody buffaloed because city council doesn't know how to make a deal. City council doesn't know how to make a deal, so they hire all these consultants. So we got to get deal makers involved with our city.
Well, you mentioned,
and it's just not me. I'm not saying I'm the end all or the.
We have several commercial real estate brokerages in Topeka.
Yes,
including
Rezac,
yours, including you.
Ed Eller.
You've got
Mike Morris.
Berkshire Hathaway.
You've got
has a commercial division.
The Coldwell Banker.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, hell yes, they got a commercial division, and it's like, okay, hang on, Suzette, forget about the hotel. He's got 7.6 million. Let's start investing in Topeka.
Yeah. So yeah, in other words, if you say are trying to sell the hotel, wouldn't you just find somebody that has national reach to sell it for you? I mean,
but
you've got national reach.
Berkshire Hathaway natural reach right here, or we wouldn't have
Berkshire Hathaway have
we wouldn't have 9 people on my Twitter
feed. Yeah, I'm up to 4.
But you did better last time. We had 15, 16 viewers.
My people are intermittent. Well, I think it was later in the day last time, wasn't it?
I don't know. I'll tell you what we are going to do. We're going to.
What are we going to do?
We're going to make this segment of the Topeka Factor brought to you by Fit Excavation.
There you go.
We'll make your land fit as a fiddle.
Fit Excavation.
Yes, we will make it shovel ready. And that's really what I want to do. I want to get out into the dirt.
You want to get out there and drive a big cab.
Man, I'm telling you, I want to knock that hill down on 37 and Gage, knock that hill down. Because what I'd really like to do is come on the south end, and we could swing a road up to Dave Herman's land, and then we connect up with Summerfield.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then we could come off Skyline Drive, connect into
Well,
that.
this alludes to something
I'm alluding.
that has kind of been bugging me about this town for a really long time. There's there's some things, that happen pretty quickly, but then there's a lot of stuff like this whole thing of extending 37th Street, where people for decades have been saying, yeah,
40 years.
yeah,
It's bullshit. And it goes
decades.
back to the MTPO. We got to get the public involved. We got to figure out how to get the public involved. And so that's back to my idea of taking all the real estate people. Look, people all over the country, right? You got nice people. The Detroit fella fucked up the Billy Joel concert or whatever. Hey, he's a deal maker. He knows how to create some turmoil. But there's so out of the 740 licensed members of the Sunflower Board of Realtors,
Right.
there's a guy out there that maybe he's got a barn and a farm listed, but he knows a guy. And that, if he can bring one deal to the table, it's not how hard you work, it's how hard your network works for you. And we need to engage the local people. We got to get the local people involved in this. And the chamber to me and the Greater Topeka Partnership is all pay to play.
Okay, the involvement you're talking about would be as opposed to what?
As opposed to Go Topeka spending 3.5 million saying they're doing the job.
So
So I want to save 3.5 million and give the job to all the local realtors.
so how do we get local realtors like Ron Roost involved?
Hey Ron,
I
we
don't know
need
if
you
he's
to be
still with
involved
us.
in this.
Yeah, maybe
Help me.
maybe.
Help me get I'm like Jerry Maguire. Help me help you.
Okay.
I'm down to my one client. Remember that, Jerry Maguire?
So yeah, then the next
Show me.
it's the next question.
Yeah.
Where's the money?
So, but we start putting the money into infrastructure.
Okay.
Let's start putting deal by deal. Let's do 100 little deals. So a guy doing the subdivision needs to have sewer extended. Well, let's use some of the infrastructure money and make it to where it doesn't matter who your last name is.
Was talking to somebody about that just yesterday. There was a guy interested in another one of my listings who'd actually
Which one? Which
okay,
listing?
wait a minute, we've got a Detroit update. I didn't start the fire. The CBS network Rhodes Scholars cut the show off early. Then lit the fire.
All right, you know what I mean. I'm not trying to give false information.
But the movie Detroit, done by Catherine Bigelow, the gal that did the Hurt Locker, and what was
Bigelow.
the one about getting Bin Laden? What was that one called? Anyway, great movie that no one's seen, but it's a super movie about what's happened to American cities like Detroit during the 60s. Anyway,
Did you know that one time the Detroit News had the largest circulation of any newspaper?
I believe you.
You know what his name was? The
No.
guy that owned it?
No,
Henry Scripps Booth.
that's interesting.
My little brother married into that family.
Good for him.
Have you ever? Hey, ask him. Well, I can ask him.
You can ask him, Bob.
Hey,
You got a
Bob, you ever
question?
been to Cranbrook? Hey, we're gonna wait for an answer, Bob.
Well, we know he's been to the Polish Village in Hamtramck.
Who, Bob?
Oh yeah, he's been the MC there. I'm not sure if he still
The
is.
Polish Village.
Yeah, that's a club. Anyway, we were going to talk about some
The radio station.
which is a good, because Bob was one of my best supporters on Rock House which by the way will be coming back. Oh wait, he says yes.
You're in
Cranbrook.
Cranbrook.
He's been
So
to-
my little brother actually had his honeymoon in Cranbrook.
Wow, unbelievable.
Yeah, you know Matt McClure,
Matt, yeah,
half brother,
connections we have.
the half brother. So
He was a half brother, but he was
he's a brother.
all in
He's a
Cranbrook.
brother of a different mother.
Yeah,
It-
yeah.
My mom's a Balion, and, and I think kind of prophetically, his mom was a Jinx. Shirley Jinx.
Shirley Jakes. Okay. Uh,
You gotta admit that's a little funny. I don't care who you are. All right. So what do we got?
well, we were talking about
Hey, why didn't somebody call in? Let's get Bob from wherever he is. Bob, call in
785.
785-235-3353.
And once again, this is Facebook Live,
And
as
we'll
well
get you
as
on
Twitter.
we'll get you on the
We're recording the Topeka Factor,
we can call in, baby. We're ready to take your calls.
which is so if you're watching this on Facebook Live and wondering what we're doing, we're going to be doing this once a week on Facebook Live, as well as Twitter, as well as
Yes, and
YouTube.
I'll go live on YouTube next time.
And I think we're in agreement that Tuesday morning
10:30.
10:30 is our optimum time. Maybe it should be later in the day. I don't know, but
You know what we ought to do?
we're kind of experimenting here.
We could go live from Julie's coffee shop.
That'd be cool. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Because then people could come by and join the show.
I'll get that approved.
Um,
I like Julie's coffee shop.
some of our, oh, okay, he needs that phone number again.
Okay.
785
235
235.
3353. We'll take your call.
Yeah,
Hey Bob, thanks.
that'd be good.
So now how did you and Bob know each other?
Well, through the Rock House internet music show that I did.
Okay.
There's another guy named Billy D up in Auburn Hills, Michigan, and another guy named Matt Mizak.
So
They all discovered the show about the same time, and Bob was a consistent supporter of the show. He'd do things like he'd go to London, and there was something going on with the re-release of Sergeant Pepper's, and he'd call in. He'd call in actual reports from London. He brought me a Motown sweatshirt, hoodie from Detroit. So yeah, he was just
your browser,
out here.
I
Can we
don't
take
know.
phone calls?
Why wouldn't it be
I want to say hi to Shirley. Shirley's dialing in here.
Hey, here we go. Here we go.
Looks like we're getting a call.
Is this Bob?
What?
You there, Bob? Hey, good.
Hey,
Henry
we're good.
McClure, Topeka, Kansas. Nice to meet you. Yes. The bus ticket will be waiting for you in 3 or 4 weeks. Well, so when I was a kid, which I still feel like I am, Marshall was on a radio station called Kiwi, KWI, and he was a famous guy, man. To know if you knew Marshall Black Lung Barber, you were like the man.
You were probably drunk.
I
Absolutely. We came here from Baltimore, where he'd been on a big rock and roll station there called WITH, which was kind of the CKLW of Baltimore, and Kiwi was the CKLW of Topeka. during the 70s. I think Lynn, who just dialed into Facebook Live,
And
might have been a listener back then.
so, what's the weather like in Detroit? Let's get a little weather. Let's get Bob integrated.
Yeah.
What's it like up there today? All right, all right. So,
Real quick, want to say hi to Rose and to Randy
Rose who?
and to Michael.
Rose
The
of Magic?
Yes,
Hi, Rose.
one of my good customers who
Was she on Kiwi?
because he bought a house from me, he has no buyer's remorse.
Was she on Kiwi?
No, she was on Magic.
Okay.
Rose was on Magic
You remember
uh,
when they converted
from K
Kiwi?
Sweet. Well, Kiwi went country.
Thank God I'm a country
K
boy.
Sweet, K Sweet went into
So what they
Magic.
would do is
But
they would announce a song. Hey, we got Billy Joel.
we got
I didn't start the fire, and then they play.
John Denver.
Yeah, John Denver.
I'm a country boy.
Life on the farm's kind of laid back. Ain't nothing old country boy that he can't hack. Early to rise, early in the sack. Thank God I'm a country boy.
And now you've got some idea why God did not want to take credit for that particular song.
All right.
We got Bob Koski with us. Bob, in Detroit, this pertains to the Topeka factor. Uh, I've been reading in the past about the problem of vacant houses in Detroit, and and what are they doing about it?
What about they do?
Can
Did
you do
you
that in Topeka?
did you get? Did they start a land bank? Well, so they I thought for some reason they might have started a land bank. So you go to a neighborhood and then the city creates a land bank or a development organization creates a land bank and you start uh, putting together property so then you can do urban renewal and then sell them to developers to come into an area and do large chunks at one time. What's a classic home? Do you mean like the big 3 stories with the all the like the gingerbread and like you go and make. So did you go to Cranbrook and what'd you see? Yes, sir. Okay, now have you ever heard the name Alfred Todman?
There you go.
Yeah, he was from that area. Did he live in Ann Arbor or was it Detroit? Well, so the reason I the reason I bring it up is that Macerich, my old mall company, developed or owned together the Country Club Plaza with Alfred Todman, and he was quite a mall developer. I mean, the total upscale of it all. See, Macerich, we were recyclers. What we did was we bought malls from the rich guys that were ready to retire, the first ends. You know, they weren't broken. And what we did was we came in with a new leasing plan and renovated them. And that's how Macerich got its start by recycling real estate. It was cool. I had so much fun doing that day to day. Now, Woodward Avenue, isn't that the one that's one of the most famous, like the Fords and the Chryslers all had houses on there?
Dearborn Mile, wasn't he?
What was it called? Wheatfield Village? Did you call it Wheatfield Village? Oh,
Greenfield
Greenfield.
Village.
Okay.
That's where.
Well, his son dated Christy Brinkley.
So yeah, who also did Billy Joel. S- circling back to your Billy Joel thing.
So who
Hey,
had more money, Todman or Joel?
I,
Because she is an uptown girl.
we got speaking of Uptown Girls. Speaking of Uptown Girls, we got to say hi to Joyce.
Hi, Joyce.
in Topeka, and Pamela down there in New Mexico.
Hello, Pamela.
And if those guys in Dearborn could only see what we have going in Topeka and Westboro, where people like Bob live, I just want to say,
Bob Post.
working into a salutation for. There you go. Golly, yeah.
Well, that'll be the day when I die.
Joyce has the question: treat people how you want to be treated, right, Henry?
Yeah, what about it? Isn't
Yeah.
that the best way to
What's
do
so
it?
hard about?
Which Joyce is that?
Well, Joyce E. I'm not so sure about using people's last names. I never know.
Not an AA meeting.
Well, I know, but you never know whether someone.
Hey, when I'd go to an AA meeting, I go, I'm Henry McClure. I'm an alcoholic.
Oh, great. Okay.
Well, hey, I mean, everybody knew it before I did.
Yeah.
I was in denial.
Right.
Oh, so you're saying,
Well, and we're just about out of time for today, but we are talking about getting a.
oh, you got to leave at noon?
We're talking about
Okay.
establishing a new presence, perhaps on the oldies. Uh,
We've got
oh,
kiwi.rock as a website, as a launching pad.
just by the way, Joyce is the one with the outdated commercial building. LOL. But uh, we're talking about rebooting Rock House. We're also talking about getting it together on the oldies internet thing with Kiwi.
Okay, so
Kiwi concept.
let me ask you a question, Sir Bob. How did you find Marshall at random on the net?
Yeah, that's a good question. Really? Don't be awesome.
So, was the format? How did the format work? I Yeah, I mean, did was it like a regular show? You play the whole song and then
Oh yeah.
commentary.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes we would have themes, like say with Jazz Fest coming up now, we might be featuring Crescent City musicians. Uh, Sometimes we just kind of randomly throw stuff out.
Well,
Fact,
okay,
and we try to bring in actually on the Topeka Facts. Uh, we would try to bring in local personalities putting on events such as the Topeka Blues Society and Suki. Uh, Rest in peace, Suki. She's not with us anymore. But uh, so yeah, that was our approach.
when'd she die?
Oh, it was last winter.
I really liked her.
She was great. Yeah.
Uncle
Also,
Bose.
want to say hi to Patricia, who's dialing in on Facebook.
Hello, Patricia.
A little Rock House reference there.
Just give her last initial since we're not using real names.
Patricia was the number one hit by the great Perez Prado
Oh, Joyce
in
Ebert.
1958.
No, her
Yeah.
her son Joe's all right.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's AAA. But
Man, that guy works his ass off.
he works and works and works, never stops.
Yeah.
But Bob, we we need to end this conversation.
But Bob,
This
I
will
think we're
hopefully.
gonna get the radio station going. If I get Whataburger closed, I'll earn a commission and I'll invest it in the hardware.
And we're going to talk about that next week, by the way, on the Topeka Factor.
And we may come to
what
you live from Julie's Coffee Shop.
and Whataburger is that's the breaking news for next week. Whataburger is coming to
Yeah,
Topeka.
Chick-fil-A is under construction right now, and we got to tee up Whataburger.
So,
I mean, it's in full. They've signed the contract. Everything's. Well, we're trying to actually get organized. We've agreed to Tuesday mornings,
yes,
and yeah, it's good for me.
and hopefully what we can do is eventually bolt on a music show component to the tail end of the Topeka Factor.
And I'm learning how to. There's certain platforms you can get that simulcast. So, because we're off, we got three different sources: Marshall's phone, my phone, and then we're recording.
Yeah, we're Facebook Live. We're recording on YouTube, and we're on X. X.
Excellent. Well, I think we had a good show.
We did good, Bob. It was really good talking to you, man.
Yeah, this is the fun part. I got to meet somebody new. You dialed in. No, thank you, Bob. Well, why don't we collaborate with Bob on a show? You know, make him a regular. We could do something fun.
Absolutely.
Like just a music talk show. I love music. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We I will do that.
So real quickly, remember crystal radios? You buy them. You know, like I got a crystal radio, and like you get a screwdriver and you build it yourself, and you think you did a science project. You know, you run the wire out, and then yeah, and then I had a like the little speaker under my pillow, and I grew up listening to Kiwi on my crystal radio. So it's music is in my head. It's a part of my DNA.
It was good listening, filled with fun. That was in the
Well,
jingle.
I mean, you think about it, the music in 64, 65, 66, and when we moved, I could never find my crystal radio.
That's the way it goes.
Got ripped off.
Speaking of moving,
All right, we're going to close down. No, hog it. We love it.
no, this has been great, and it's interesting talking about Detroit because that's a model for an area that just won't give up. And I think there's lessons to be learned that probably pertain to Topeka as well. And before we sign off, I also want to say to Caroline, who just joined us in time to see us go away. But Caroline will be back next Tuesday at 10:30 here on the Topeka Factor on Facebook Live. And thanks for the compliment. Deb Goodrich says we're doing a good job.
Thank you. And we're going to get her on the show, or we're going to do a show out in her museum.
Yeah.
Let's take a road trip.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
All right. Henry McClure Live.
Marshall Barber, Facebook Live.
Thanks for tuning in on Twitter.
It's been the Topeka Factor. Danny, we will catch you next week.
All right. Thank you.
No matter what, always be cool.
All right. Hey,
Was for 30 days.
let's sign up.
That was-
Why can't I turn that off? There we go. Okay.
Yeah, see, I don't know why I feel funny about
Why do you not post it for longer than 30 days?
that's just what it says to do.
No, you can do it. You can save them and never delete it.
But yeah.
All right. We're signing off here. I got to go to the bathroom real quick. Say
Oh,
goodbye to the
okay.
Topeka Factor.
Okay. No matter what, always be cool.